Today marks the start of halter classes in the pavilion. Good luck to all the competitors. One couple, the Snyders, are new to the Arabian horse industry, and this is their first time at U.S. Nationals with their horse, Twister. The Snyders never planned on being horse owners, but now that they are, they wouldn't have it any other way.
My name is Robert Snyder. I'm here today with my wife, Liesl, and our horse, Twister, to tell you the story of our horse. The story begins about 55 years ago with a gentleman by the name of Joe Walter, who as a young man lived in Sedalia, Missouri, near the Sedalia Fairgrounds. Joe thought of himself as a horseman, and he kept and trained horses at the stables in Sedalia. Joe had told me the story about a gentleman he saw one day who rode into town on an Arabian horse. And that was it for Joe. He had to have an Arabian. Turned out pretty much to be his life's dream. It took him the majority of his life to attain two horses that he could breed. He eventually did. In later years, he was finally able to breed these two horses and had two offspring, one of which is Twister and his younger sister's Tempest. Being later in life, Joe successfully had bred his horse and had these two offspring, was unable to do anything with them. He no longer had the health or the means to train the horses. I struck up a friendship with Joe over the years and was invited to Joe's home one afternoon. Joe requested that myself and my wife take his two young horses. Shortly after taking on the responsibility of caring for Joe's two young horses, Joe passed, and we found ourselves new horse owners with two horses, no fenced pasture, no shelters, no water, no nothing, just these two little horses. So we got busy. We started fencing, we started building shelters, and decided what to do with these two young horses. You want to take over?
All right. So we found ourselves with two young Arabian horses. And I knew that with my lack and our lack of experience with any horse, much less beautiful young Arabians, that we would need help with these babies. It was pure serendipity that I came across Clanton Performance Horses. And when I saw their website and I saw the beautiful horses there and I went to the barn and met everybody, I knew that this was where I wanted to start with the horses. I started taking lessons there even before I knew that we would have Twister in our care. And then once we got Twister in our care, I went to Alan and I said, I have a baby, I have this young Arabian, and I don't know what he's going to be, but I'm going to put him in your hands and you tell us what he's going to be. And as it turns out, Twister was intended to be a reining horse, and this was been our first year with showing with him under Alan. When I first saw Twister, when he was just a day old, I cried because he couldn't walk, and I felt horrible because I wasn't sure he was going to make it. And to now be here at Nationals and have him go top 10 in junior reining has just been amazing. And the whole experience has been truly amazing from beginning to end. I actually got my first ride on Twister a year to the day when we lost Joe, his breeder. And I know it's part of his dream to see him come this far. And we're just very proud. And this experience all along this year has just been amazing. The horses are amazing. The barn we ride with is amazing. And, you know, showing, and it's not just getting the ribbons, it's improving every time. It's seeing him come along, seeing him improve and grow and become such a fine, beautiful horse. And I never dreamed when we started out with this adventure that we would be here at the U.S. Nationals in our first year and making the top 10. So this has been a dream that, yes, we have perhaps inherited, but has become our dream as well. And, you know, it's just been amazing. I'm hoping to get the skill, continue riding and training and getting the skills so that I can take Twister to shows next year and ride him myself. But he's going to be a member of our family forever, you know, and whatever the future holds, there are a lot of things he can do. And just looking forward to continuing with him and training and riding and continuing the Arabian horse experience and going to shows and just having a good time. Well, not coming from a horse background and not knowing what to expect and, you know, hearing different things, you know, the whole experience has been great. Everybody I've met has been welcoming and encouraging and friendly, and the experience of competing and watching not only my horse but all the other horses go and compete is just, it's beautiful and it's exciting. And you know, the Arabian horse, I mean, I've been in love with the Arabian horse since I was a child because they're beautiful, they're intelligent, and they're so in tune to the people around them and to their riders and their owners. And just knowing them and having them in your life is just a great part of having them and owning them. And we're just blessed to be able to have this experience and to be able to have these horses in our life. Also, you know, we're very thankful to be in the barn that we're at, and you know, that's been a great part of this experience too, because all along the way we've had the training and the coaching, and the entire family at Clanton Performance Horses has all along the way just been awesome in helping us, you know, as newbies newbies to this whole thing, and just help make it a great experience and a learning experience, and just has been supportive along the way. So we're very blessed to have been lucky enough to find the right people to be able to do this with.
Not only does 2016 mark the 50th anniversary of U.S. Nationals, but it also marks a new reigning champion of the most winningest horse. NDL Pericles had 30 national championships, but today, Sabi earned his 31st national championship.
I am Morgan Kelly, and this is Sabi, and we have been showing together for 13 years. And we are from Minnesota originally and show with Heston Park and Larry and Jody Hoffman. I first started in rodeos and a small barn in Park Rapids, and then I found Larry and Jody through Rick Knapp, and they took me from there. So one year at Louisville for U.S. Nationals, Jody was looking at a horse that was getting schooled, and she called Larry and said she needed to look at the horse immediately. And then Larry got on, and Jody told him to stop because she didn't want anyone else to see him. And so we bought him there, and then about 4 months later I went to the barn and finally got to see him, and I didn't even know what color he was. To be honest, I didn't know it was a gelding or a mare, so I was really excited the first time I saw him.
So when you first got this horse and you guys started going, what were your thoughts initially?
Well, initially, we went in classes and I was young. I think I was 12 at the time, 11 or 12 when I started riding him, and 13 and under. And, you know, we were doing well, and then we got to Canada, and I placed in my class. I was top 10, and I fell off, like, during the victory pass. And then we got another championship, and he was terrified of roses, like, terrified. And so I fell off again, and so, like, thinking he would get 31 national championships and be, like, happy with ribbons was kind of, I was terrified. And so to think that he actually could bring me this far was not in the cards at that time. He loves roses now. He knows when he wins. He gets very proud of himself. He's been standing in his stall all day, just like super happy. We have been keeping track. Obviously I was super happy with how far we had come and how like amazing he is, and I'm so happy that I could show him that far. But I was really nervous at the end. I knew I had a good class, but you never know what they're going to do, so I was just hoping that we'd be able to pull it off.
Hi, my name is Larry Hoffman. I'm from Hastings, Minnesota, and my wife Jody and I own Heston Park, which is a public training facility. We always laugh and say, I broke my first pony when I was 7 years old. So my parents had horses before they got married, and I have been in it ever since.
Do you ever think you would have a horse that would beat the title?
Oh, heaven forbid, no. I grew up showing ponies, showing quarter horses, did 10 years in 4-H horse and pony. And so, like I said, my background goes way back then. And no, I would have never thought I was going to reach a point in my life where I was training and competing and producing national champions in any breed, period. I never would have entered my mind. You know what? We've been fortunate to have a lot of great horses over the years. From Chance of a Lifetime to Lexington. Sabi just is one of those horses that kind of just puts it all together. You know, we have always been real believers in longevity for our clients' horses, in the care that we give them. And since we got Sabi as a 4-year-old, he has just been the model student.
When he came here, did he have 30 or did he get more than one?
No, he had 30 national championships when he got here this year.
So were you getting a little nervous coming here?
Unbelievably. We had gone up to Canada this year, and it was one of the only times he'd ever come out of a national show without a national championship. So we're thinking he's 17 years old, you know, are we past his prime? And we've all said after this happened today, we said somebody was looking out for us, because to get the 31st one here at the U.S. Nationals makes it even more special. Sabi, if you ask any of the ringmasters here, Juan or any of them, and if you look at the picture, we pulled Juan into the picture for the national championship. It took over 6 years before we could get up to him with flowers and roses.
Do you think he can make it to 40 national championships?
I don't even want to think that far. It took enough to hit 31. I have to thank Jesse Saldano, because that is who we bought him from. And that's who put the initial start on him and did such a phenomenal job in putting a foundation on him when he was a 4-year-old that we've just have built on from there.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.